chase misprinted lies. We face the path of time, and yet I fight, and yet I fight this battle all alone. No undercrowd too, no place to go home.
Chains, man. Allison, fuck the chains.
And we're back. Hey, Rick's-Rock, let's take this opportunity to talk about the GC versus DK Battle of the Bands 2018.
Oh,
right?
Yes.
What we're going to do this year is actually pretty funny. You guys, I'm sure every single one of you have been in the Battle of the Bands multiple times, okay? Well, what we're going to do on this show is, and it's already started, this until May the 30th, people have been sending in their music. We're going to play the last minute of their favourite song. Everyone's got a song.
Unless they tell us what minute we want us. They want.
Fuck them.
Really? Because
this is my. This.
No way.
I think the last minute of every song needs to be the best minute of their song. Am I right?
Yeah.
You can't just put it in the first minute. Right, it's controversial.
That's
I know.
where you do the shit you like.
So yeah, exactly. So we're going to do it in heats every Tuesday night. We're going to do it in heats.
But we've got that girl that actually said, "Listen from this point to this point."
When she gets her own podcast show, she can run her own deal.
Okay, fair enough.
And then we'll decide every Tuesday night we'll play 4 minutes, 4 different bands there, and choose the winner. That winner carries over to the semis until we find our ultimate one hot minute band.
Nice.
Oh, and we should say $500 cash.
No, really?
Everyone goes to the Lumber Punks for free. Axe throwing, and a
Matt
great
G
photo shoot
Photography.
on the Gold Coast by Mattg Photography.
And they get to
Hey,
come
Matt.
on the podcast, and they come to get on this podcast.
And we annoy them by overplaying them. I can't wait. It's actually going to be a great piss
Who's
take.
judging it?
I'm going to write a 1
I'm hoping to
song.
hear some...
1 minute, 10 seconds.
You know what I'm saying?
Or just under.
Speaking of 90s.
56 seconds or something.
But who's judging? Is it just us judging it?
No, and our guests.
And our guests.
I want randoms to be here and give us their honest opinion on the night. Who had the best hot minute? What do you reckon, mate?
Are you auditioning or?
No, they're sending in. We've already got about 15 songs. I haven't even checked them.
Local Gold Coast bands.
Well, you should
Yeah.
definitely
Or
narrow
from
it down.
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Top three.
Everywhere. Australia-wide. Wow.
Top three should have to play that minute live.
That's a good idea.
That
Oh.
I'm not paying for their
and
ticket.
then no, well, they've got to be here
That's right.
and dish that shit out,
Yeah.
and make that minute count,
Yeah.
and make it feel like it's the end of a song too. Like, do some pre-shit, get yourself amped, and then play that minute. And I could probably coach a couple of them if you need me.
Holy
Team
crap,
Delta.
really?
Team Delta.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what you want is you want people to turn around in their
Would
chair.
you really do that?
Yeah, if you well, give me a ticket to the Lumber Punks, and I'm there.
You got it, mate. You got
I
it.
think we can
Because if
organise
anyone can
that.
throw an axe, it's me.
Yeah. Have you been there? No.
No, I live on acreage, man. I throw axes just for fun.
Do ya?
Yeah, be kids, get them running.
Honestly, Lumberpunks is the greatest place. We all went
Yeah.
there.
Straight across.
awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
It is a really... It's actually a...
Never been there, and I love it.
We were there.
That's how good it is.
Well,
we have
Jason Momoa loves it too. You know Jason Momoa?
Aquaman.
Aquaman. He loves it
What a
too.
great, it's a Canadian concept, yeah. So
Is it?
yeah,
Is it?
Canada. That's where you can go into a bar, drink heaps of piss, and throw axes around.
I
That's
think
Canadian.
they might have actually told us that.
Yeah, live music.
Yeah, sharp implements and alcohol always go together really
Yeah.
well.
Awesome.
You know they do. You know they do.
That's where the magic happens.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you for playing those songs there. You know, a few things came to mind because I used to play a lot of guitar, but I don't anymore. Right, so over to the guitarist in the room now. Did you find? See, I'm not the type of guitarist who plays all the time, right? So I know I'm pretty sure I'm looking at guys who always do. My question to you: did you find anything when you started playing in this band, like when you had to really dissect the songs? Did you overlook anything and go, "Oh, Kim Thale from Soundgarden or whatever his name is a pretty quirky player," or any of those sort of things?
The Jerry Cantrell stuff in the Alice in Chains, because they've got to be right, and they're not quite straight ahead lead breaks. And playing in cover bands, laziest bastard in the world, all I do is, okay, that sounds a bit like that, improvise.
Oh, that's
Off
too
you go.
fast. I'll get a sore wrist.
Just improvise the whole fucking whole gig. I'd never learned a lead, other than Sweet Child of Mine. I'd probably never learned a whole lead break in my life because I fuck it. But in
Can you play
this,
this lead break after this?
but in this, you've got to, things like all the Alice in Chains stuff, like Man in a Box, and all those sorts of, them bones. You've got to have it right, and he plays fucking quirky. Like it's not straightforward. The Soundgarden stuff's pretty good because it's generally pretty ratty, and I just improvise that. Pick a few, you have a few little passages that he does, and you just link them together. But yeah, the Alice in Chains stuff's definitely the one.
Wow. So it has to be precise.
Yeah, a lot of it does.
Well, you'd have a lot of arm folding guitar blokes in the back, I imagine,
Fuck them. You know
That's what I
say. You know what I'm saying.
That's why I
They're
like
the blokes
to.
who never talk to anybody or anyone or compliment anything good, but geez, they're nasty little keyboard warriors.
just like us. It'd be
Yeah.
blokes like us at the back of the room.
So I just make sure I take more equipment than any other guitarist, so they can just.
I find
Wow.
from a rhythmical point of view, it can be pretty different as well. You just got to lock it down. There's just no gaps, so you just got to make it so it punches from start to finish. That's the biggest thing I've found. I like
Rhythm
it.
guitarists, man, they're a rare breed, but they're the best thing ever.
So you don't like to leave yourself hanging, Blaze?
Nah.
That'd be a shit feeling.
It is. Yeah, you just got to
Fill
punch
the
it,
spaces.
from start to finish.
Back
yeah.
yourself and keep.
Yeah, I like it though. It's down low and dirty. You just get into it and go. So from O to go, it's great from
Now-
that point of view.
Mikey Edwards, you just came back from the USA.
Yes, first time to the States earlier this year. went and experienced. It was a bucket list job, that one. Finally went to NAMM, which is the massive music convention they have every year. It's been going for decades. I think it's 100 years it's actually been going. But yeah, every type of instrument and like from drum companies, every company, your Fenders, your Marshalls, your Gibson. Actually, Gibson wasn't there last year. But
They're
yeah,
going broke, man. I heard
they are. They're filed for bankruptcy.
No, they've gone into administration.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a bit different.
So Matty's a Gibson player. He loves his Gibsons. But that was a real highlight. One of the best things I've done in my life. While there, besides looking at all the amazing equipment that's come out for the last 12 months, there's a lot of famous people, celebs walking around doing exactly the same thing, checking out gear and doing demos. And
is that where you get those great headphones on with that little dial on the side?
These
Look at those
were
things go. Look at this.
these are a gift. These are a gift from one of the companies that I actually went over there to see, which is Ashdown. I'm an Ashdown player, have been for quite some time now, and yeah, they brought out a range of headphones in the last couple of years, and I was lucky enough to get the first set in the country.
Can I ask you a question about them?
Yeah.
Because they've got the
Meters
sound
on the side. They're
on
actually
side.
called meters. Ashdown
But
meters.
What's the point? Because you can't see them.
No, that's I've seen that. Yeah, you can't see them, but it also gives you.
Great point.
It gives. I suppose if your kids are listening, if your kids are wearing your headphones and they're listening to really loud music, you can go, turn that shit
Too
down.
loud.
It's hurting your ears.
Your ears are peeking out.
Yeah.
My God, what a great point.
But everything, most like the VU meters, is part of the branding of the company. Not just with the headphones, but it's quite it's their trademark now.
So they have an Aussie distributorship that you're in.
They do.
Yeah?
Yeah, they do.
And they're your
No, I direct with the company. The owner of the company is Mattg, who's the UK company, and I've had quite a lot to do with Mark in the last 5 or 6 years. So, yeah, we very lucky, very privileged to be associated with that company. Some of the biggest bands in the world are playing Ashdown. So I'm very grateful that I'm just flying the flag down under for them. Have been for a long time, but in the last couple of years, having direct contact with the head of the company, it's a family-run business. So Mark's the CEO. His son Dan is also heavily involved in the company, and his son-in-law Lee is managing director as well. So having those guys, having the backing of those guys, I'm pretty privileged. Yeah,
How cool
very
does it
grateful.
sound?
For
How
someone
do you do
on the
that?
Gold Coast.
I never once thought when I was playing my guitar to ring up the company. You know, you obviously, I know you. You've obviously, did you make the connection? Did you actually? You're very business orientated. You're the nuts and bolts of this.
It actually
band,
happened through.
sure.
So it happened.
The nuts.
Look at those nuts.
It actually happened through. First off, through social media. I met another Pommy guy on the Gold Coast who I was going to record with a previous original band that I was working with, and at that time I was playing Trace Elliott gear, which Mark Gooday from Ashdown was involved heavily with Trace Elliott. When I went to this guy's place to borrow a cabinet to go into recording, the guy said, "Oh, you play Trace, you've got to try Ashdown," and he lent me a head, which I took to the studio, and that was sort of the connection with the first connection with the company. Mark was friends with him on Facebook. So from Facebook, I friended Mark. This is going back about 6 years ago now. And since then, we chatted quite regularly. And then I didn't actually get to meet Mark in person.